Let's pay homage to the Buddha, the fully enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. I will pay respect to the Buddha, the fully enlightened one. Buddha bodhaya te 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 tanto yo dhammataya sa. Dhammataya tanto dhammante no vadranaya sa. Nibuddho nibbanataya tan lokatrananami. Lokatrano lokatumbayi gozaya dasu phito mudo. Yo nago Buddha naga miro yadiya seide atutha chin myaswa phayadi. Buddha thissa lin kuro rain tho twin thi myin tormu bi phit yue. Bodhaya sa chuthai ta tu ko ko lu ro ko tu thin lin ti ja ba se yin chu nga lagaw. Tanto kuro ga pi yin chi ro mu bi phit yue. Dhammataya sa chuthai ta tu ko ko lu ro ko tu me yuen yin chi ja se chin nga lagaw. Tanto kurai ga bin kilita upukate inyin dormu bi phit yue. Dhammataya sa chuthai ta tu ko ko lu ro ko tu me yuen kilita pu nyin ja ba se chin nga lagaw. Dino wa tandayana wangarachango. Kutan thâu chao kuro ran yau pi phit yue ta lien. Dharanaya sa kuro thatu chuthai tu ro ne putawan ma bekanto. Kutan thâu chao yau ja ba se chin chu nga lagaw. Nibuddho kilita pranippan win san yau te. Kuro rai inyin dormu bi phit yue. Nibbanataya sa kuro thatu we ne lu ro pukate nyin ja ba se chin chu nga lagaw. Dhammam ni sin li na dhammasakko. Te te ti karuna shita metta phit hau ja tormu khet ba pe yi. Lokatrana lokatumbayi gozaya dasu phito mudo. Danaga Buddha naga miro yadiya seide atutha tu myaswa phyago. Nami namami ko nau nalong tong song pyao pyo. Mango sho yue kado myan no la song mo yue. Shikho u nyo pa yi myaswa phya myaswa phya. Are you ready?
Dear Bhakti, Bhakti, please tell us a little about your past, how you first came in touch with the Dhamma, what made Bhakti decide to take up meditation, Bhakti's previous experience in meditation, and what finally prompted Bhakti to come to our Korea. Thank you.
If you read in the book What book? Do you know? Awaken, O One. There you will see one of the talk. The name of the talk is Recollection of Death. There you will see why did I choose to live ordained life? Why do you see me as an ordained monk? There I have explained some important point that make my life change. Simply to say, because of sense of urgency, because of experiencing the death of the mother of one of my students, sense of urgency arose in my mind. It is very, very strong that I see things that I liked before, things that I would like to be, things that I am seeking for, things that I plan to be, things that I plan to get in the future, things that I want to be, things that I like very much in my life. Everything, they are just useless. Nonsense for me at that time. Whatever I see, the thought arose in me that everything is useless. They will not be for the happiness, they are just for suffering. The final thing that makes sense of urgency strongly arose in my mind is the death of my mother of one of my students. It is in front of me. The one who I was taking care of her. I saw every conditions that changed from one condition to another. Before it, I was seeking or pursuing after wealth, I'm pursuing after sensuality. But because of that sense, because of that scene, it made my mind change. But it is not only one thing that made my life change. There are many things that make me change a little bit, and force me to the direction to be the one who is seeking for the truth. But the final step is that one. My sense of urgency is so strong that I went to see the part of Sayadaw. It is before the end of Wasa. What I remember, it will be 15 days before the Wasa ended. As the sense of urgency is so strong that I told Paul Sayadaw, I haven't met Paul Sayadaw for maybe already 3 years, I thought at that time. I've met with Sayadaw for 2 times. But the last time I went to tell him I decided to ordain because of my sense of urgency. Do you know what did he tell me? I told him, I have many other things to settle down before my ordination. I have my business, I need to give up everything to my brother. Because of this reason, I told Paul Sayadaw, give me 15 days. After that I will come ordain. No, please, ordain now. he told me. The mind can change very quickly. No, Sayadaw, I'm very sure. Do you know, even for 15 days, my mind didn't change at all. Very strong. Sense of urgency that arose in my mind is out of consideration. What we can't create, that sense of urgency is so powerful that everything what I saw, everything what I met, everything what I sensed, useless, nothing, nonsense. Nothing can make change. But I told, not telling like just because I don't want my mother, I don't want my father feel unhappy. I've never ordained as a bhikkhu in my life. I've ordained only one time as a samanera, when I was maybe around 10 years or more than 10 years old. Before that year, previous year, I intended to ordain a temporary bhikkhu, what they call Donlaba. But fortunately or unfortunately, I could not ordain. I'm very busy. So I told, fortunately, I could not ordain, or unfortunately. Why? My intention is not to ordain, my intention is to ordain just for temporarily, not for permanent bhikkhu. I have no sense of urgency at that time. As I haven't ordained as a bhikkhu in my life, as a Buddhist in our country. This is our tradition. Everybody ordained. So I intended to ordain that year. But so I was so busy that I could not do. So I'm very fortunate. If I ordain in that year, maybe you may not see me now. Because I have no sense of urgency. I thought just to ordain according to our tradition. After that I will disturb, I will do my business. I will sought after my wealth, fame and gain. This is my goal at the time. Next year, unexpectedly, but I had no intention to do such thing. I have intended only when I was 45 years old. It is what I have intended according to my understanding and intention. This is not because of sense of urgency, just because I thought it is a good time to do. Now I'm not yet 45. Now I'm only 42. 3 years more. So intention, understanding, decision, these are different. These are one. Sense of urgency is another. No one can create the sense of urgency arose in the mind. It is just according to our karma. It is what we can't expect. We can't make, we can't do by our intention. So because of that sense of urgency, as I have told our Sayadaw, after studying down everything, I will come and ordain. So after the wasa ended, I went there and I ordained. In my mind, what I want to be, I want to make free from suffering in the Fourfold States. This is the main reason. I'm so afraid to fall to the Fourfold States. As the death of my disciples, my students' mother happened unexpectedly. From the good conditions, change to bad condition and die. We thought to do good things for our life and to prolong our lifespan, doing this and that, serving this and that, taking this and that. But when times ripen, no one can prevent from our death. I don't know when, at that time, the thought arose in my mind, now my disciple's mother, my student's mother died unexpectedly. Not very old yet. She didn't know she is going to die. I don't know when I will die. She didn't know when she will die, she could not prevent herself from undesirable things. She could not prevent herself from falling into 404 states. Nobody knew where she was born. In the same way, I don't know when I will die. I don't know where I will born. I will be reborn. I'm afraid I'm afraid that I'm going to fall to the 404 states. I didn't prevent myself from falling into 404 states. Who had prevented himself from falling into 404 states? Only for those who have realized 4 noble truths. There are those who had prevented themselves from falling into the 404 states. I haven't realized 4 noble truths. I'm still subject to suffering to the 404 states for that reason. It shakes my mind. So this is a driving force for me to choose to live ordained life. So the time I ordained, I just went to Pa monastery. At that time, the upper Sima Hall has not been finished. It is under construction. So the day I ordained, I don't know, in my mind I want to be a bhikkhu. I want to practice meditation. I don't know how important to choose a preceptor. I didn't ask anybody to be my preceptor. Even to Sayadaw U. I just go there and ordain. I'm waiting who is going to ordain me. And then, the time I was ordained as a Samani novice, at that time Sayadaw was in the room and sent a message to me. I'm going to be your preceptor. Just he sent to me his message. I don't know how important it is at that time. In my mind, I want to ordain as a bhikkhu and to practice meditation only. Later I come to know that it is so important to choose a preceptor in our life as a bhikkhu. If we can depend on a good preceptor, well-trained preceptor, we are very fortunate. As an ordained person, we need to learn a lot. We need to learn just good things, not bad things. Ordained persons are not like lay person. Lay person, there may be many teachers as a lay person we have met. But as an ordained person, we must meet with those who are well trained and respect on the Dharma, on the Buddha, on the Dharma, on the Sangha, who strictly follow the bhikkhu's rules. It must be the one who should we depend on. If it is a preceptor who didn't practice morality, very unfortunate. So this is what I have choose to live my ordained life. This is the way I became an ordained life. It is good enough for you to know, I think.
Why is it like 2 people can see the same thing, but one person can get sense of agency, other person does not have anything?
Yes.
Why it happen like
It is because of different past karma. Without the support of past accumulated good karma, it is very difficult. As you know, Venerable Kassapa to be, they renounced the world by seeing something that everybody is seeing every day, but cannot make other people feel sense of urgency. For them, it is too strong for them. That's why something that can make other people, something that can't make other people feel sense of urgency, can make another person to feel the sense of urgency according to their accumulated past karma. Now you all live ordained life. Now you all renounce the world. This is a way of accumulating parami and to feel sense of urgency in the future, for sure. So we know the Dharma more and more day by day because of practicing meditation, because of training oneself, because of encountering many difficulties as an ordained person. We find a way how to live more peacefully, right? And then we understand more and more how beautifully it is to live ordained life. Yes.
Okay, discussion. Okay, Bhante. This one is on training the mind and control the mind, and there's some contradiction. Okay, on one hand, we train our mind to attain mastery over our mind and not be any more slaves of our own mind. On the other hand, we have no control over nama and rupa and the dharmas as they appear, arising and perishing constantly, changing from moment to moment. These two aspects seem to contradict and oppose each other. How to reconcile and overcome this? Could Bhante please explain? Thank you.
Without the first, second will not come into being. First, we all need to train. First is to train our bodily action and verbally action, practicing the training of morality. Without restraining from those wrong actions, we can't purify our bodily and verbal action. This is one of the training that we must start, from which we must continue. The second training, the training of concentration. The training of concentration is the training of the mind. Without practicing the first training, we can't proceed to the second training, the training of concentration. What do you think? Without training, without practicing the training of morality, can we practice the training of concentration? Cannot. Okay? Without having trained, without the first training, we can't proceed to the second training. The first training, the training of morality, support or help for the development of the second training, the training of concentration. Without having trained the first and the second training, no one can expect to see the truth which is arising and perishing all the time. The mind must be trained before seeing the ultimate truth. That training is with the purpose to see the ultimate truth which are rising and perishing. It is impermanence, right? Yes. From the ultimate point of view, it is impermanence. But to know and to see these ultimate reality which are arising and perishing all the time, which is suffering, which is impermanence, and which is subject to suffering, which is suffering, and which is out of control, non-self, completely depend on the training of the mind. In other words, after developing concentration. So not to be a slave of defilements, not to be the one who listens all the instructions demanded by the defilements. First of all, we all need to practice the training of morality. Because of practicing the training of morality, you will refrain from killing, We don't listen the instructions of the defilements, not to be a slave. Second, we refrain from stealing, not to listen the instructions of the defilements and not to be a slave of defilement. This is also training. And not to refrain from sexual misconduct. So not to listen or not to be a slave of defilements. In the same way for refraining from telling lies and taking intoxicants. This is one way of training. Not to listen the instructions of the defilements. By the time we practice the training of morality, we can't make the purity of mind yet. Even though we don't do bodily wrong actions and verbally wrong actions, there stay the instructions of the mind, only we don't listen. For that reason, bodily wrong actions and verbally wrong actions will not occur in our daily life because of practicing the training of morality. When we know our mind not yet pure, through practicing the training of morality, we want to make the purity of mind. At that time, Buddha taught the second training. And practicing samatha meditation, we can make the mind pure temporarily for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, according to our absorption concentration. Based on it, we can continue to know and to see the ultimate reality which are arising and perishing all the time. There is no contradiction between one and another. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Ante. The next question. Ante, in the Maymyo book, it mentioned the meditator must discern that the nama rupa which has arose are arising and will arise in the 3 periods of past, present, and future are a single sequential process of nama rupa. I understand that nama, mental process, arise in sequence. But what about rupa?
Nama, citta niyama, law of citta. It is not created by the God, it is not created by the Buddha, it is not by anybody, it is law of citta. It arose or it arises according to the cognitive process. In one cognitive process, there are many mind movements, they are arising and perishing according to one after another. For example, when we see a certain object at that time, idle cognitive process and mind-dog cognitive process arises, following one after another. But the idle cognitive process can arise only one time, but mind-dog cognitive process can arise many times, one after another, after bhavanga interruptions. In the mind-dog cognitive process, or in the idle cognitive process, there are 14 mind movements. Without the first, second cannot arise. Without the second, third cannot arise. Without the third, the fourth cannot arise. So after the first mind movement arises, it perishes. This is the nature of mind movement. When it perishes, it gives way, or it gives the second mind movement the opportunity to arise. At that time, only the second mind movement arises. After it arises, it perishes. When it perishes, third mind movement arises. But when the first mind movement perishes, before it perishes, second mind movement is not waiting. I'm going to arise, please perish. It doesn't go this way. It is not like this way. According to the law of citta, when the first mind movement perishes, second mind movement will arise. When the second mind movement arises, third mind movement is not telling, not waiting. Hey, please perish, I'm going to arise. Not like this. When the second mind movement perishes at that time, third mind movement arises. It is law of citta. Mentality arises in the form of cognitive process with many mind movements in each cognitive process. But for materiality, It arises in the form of subatomic particles with many ultimate materiality in each kalapa, at least 8, 9 or 10. So not in the form of cognitive process, because it is not the mentality, it is the materiality. Buddha said the whole world is made up of nama and rupa. The whole world is made up of small tiny particles, which are subatomic particles, which are rising and perishing all the time. It is just rupa. Nama is nama. Okay?
Next question. Can a yogi know exactly which degree or mind that produces apisanti, since at the time of performing sankhara, there arose uncountable degree and mind? What is the requirement to understand the link between the 5 past causes and tapisanti citta?
Actually, the karma that appear, mostly not the karma that we do at the near-death moment. But sometimes there may be karma that we do at the near-death moment, or we did at the near-death moment, which give its result of the patisandhi nama rupa. But most of the karma is as if we are redoing at the near-death moment. The karma that we have done at a certain time in our life, in that past life or many years or many lives ago. As we have accumulated a certain karma, whether wholesome or unwholesome, after we have done, it perished. But leaving the force of karma behind, that force of karma, when it is strong and powerful, when it ripens at that time, that karma appear at the near-death moment as if we are redoing. The actual karma is the karma that we have done at a certain time in the past. The karmic force that left behind, because of ripening of that karma, because it is strong enough to give its result, it appeared at the near-death moment as if we are redoing. Okay?
Following that is, what is the requirement to understand the link between the 5 past causes and tapisanti citta?
As you all know, if we have no intention to come to here, you will not reach here. As we have intention to come here, that intention direct the place where we want to go. In the same way, avijja, ignorance, direct our destiny, direct our direction to go. Without avijja, without tanha, without upadana, in other words, in English, without ignorance, without craving, and without clinging, the karma or the sankhara, or kusala or akusala sankhara, or kusala or akusala karma cannot give its result. For example, those who are arahant, those who have removed all the defilements, they have no more defilements round. They have no ignorance, they have no craving, they have no clinging. Because of this reason, all the karma that they are doing, they have done, they are going to do, are just functional, not wholesome or unwholesome. When there is no support of ignorance, craving and clinging, all the karma become neutral. Okay? They cannot give any results. That's why sometimes meditators see ignorance, craving and clinging clearly in their past. Sometimes they couldn't find. At that time, they need to find out the latent tendency, anusaya kilesa, latent defilements that follow them, follow him or her, and which support them, which support their wholesome or unwholesome karma, give its result as a patisandhi, rebirth linking consciousness. Sometimes at a certain existence, they don't see the avijja, tanha, upadana. They don't see ignorance, craving, and clinging. And to understand it, they need to continue descending another past life. For example, if they don't see these three defilements round in the second past life, they should try to descend to the past. That time they may understand. For example, in a second past life, if they are Brahma, as a Brahma, they don't have attachment to human existence and Deva existence. But after that existence, someone or a study meditator was born as a Deva in the next existence, or as a human in the next existence. He didn't see that avijja, tanha, upadana. But because he fell from absorption concentration into the excess concentration. Because of falling into excess concentration from the absorption concentration, it gives its result in the central realm. So when he was instructed to descend to the third past life, we see a man in that life. So attachment to man life was followed as a latent defilement in the mental continuum. Because of this reason, it gave its result when the concentration falls down from the absorption to the excess concentration. They got a chance to be reborn in the human realm again because they have attached to the human existence the life before that existence. Okay?
Thank you, Bhante. Next question is asking about Chitta-Siddha. Is the quality, the power of each Chitta-Siddha the same in each mind moment? That is it because the Akusala Chitta-Siddha, for example, conceit, it has arisen many times in many mind moments that it becomes very strong, or the conceit which arose in the 7 jhanas can also be as strong?
In general, when wholesome states of mind arose, or unwholesome states of mind arose, at the time with consciousness and associated mental factors, they are arising together, taking the same object and with the same base, and perished together. They are all working together. The time they take a certain object, they have the same base, they have the same object, and they perish together. In the wholesome mental process, there will be 7 jhana mind movements. Every mind movement, they have the same feeling. We can say in general, they have the same power. But according to the Buddha's Abhidhamma, the first mind movement, the intention that arose in the first mind moment can give its result if it gives its result only in this existence. But the 7th mind moment, 7th jhana mind moment will be in the subsequent existence. 5 jhana mind moments between, they can give their results up to before we take final nibbana. Only in this way we should see.
Next question, Bhante. When Bhante mentioned that if the insight matures, it will see nibbana. Does this insight mean the understanding or wisdom which understands the nature of mental and physical phenomena?
when the insight knowledge mature means that maturity of insight knowledge occurred because of contemplating, seeing the perishing of ultimate mentality or ultimate materiality or cause and their effects. The time meditators practice Bhanga Jnana, which emphasizes mainly on the perishing of all the conditioned Dharma, internally, externally, past, present, future. Sometimes we contemplate anicca many times, sometimes dukkha, sometimes anatta. At the same time, because of repeatedly doing so, insight knowledge mature. Maturity of insight here means the insight knowledge can break through from this shore to another shore. That means the maturity of insight. If it is not yet powerful, if it is not strong enough, they can't break through. They will be only in this shore. They cannot break through to the another shore. They may not reach or cross over another shore. Depending on the maturity of insight knowledge, when it is strong enough at the time, like you step from this shore to another shore. Before this, even though you want to, you can't. Okay? Even you want, you don't understand how to cross. This is not because of your intention you can break through. This is just because of the maturity of insight knowledge. It happens by its nature, according to the Dhamma nature of the Dhamma. Okay?
Can you have glimpses before?
Eh?
Can you have glimpses before?
Glimpse?
Glimpses like...
No, cannot. No glimpse. When insight knowledge is, when times ripen, break through. Okay?
And what are the factors that it becomes immature?
Having no continuous practice on the meditation, especially on the vipassana. But we should say every step support for the realization of Nibbana. So if we don't respectfully do or engage practicing samatha vipassana, it will be difficult.
Next question. Is it true that even a two-rooted person can also see Paramata Namarupa, dependent origination, and practice vipassana?
There are four types of person. The fourth one is Pada Brahma. So Pada Brahma, the meaning is just the one just who knows only the words, not the Dhamma penetratively. But one time a certain bhikkhu asked a question to House Sayadaw, at that time House Sayadaw gave an answer. Two-rooted person also can know the Dhamma partially. He just said only how much. He didn't say. He just said partially. He may see the small particles, he may see the light, maybe. But this is what the House Sayadaw gave an answer. But according to the word, Pada Brahma, is just who can know the words only.
Devati, this question, when a bhikkhu commits parajita, naturally he is no more a bhikkhu. So then, if he continues to practice, can he attain jhana or magga and phala?
Cannot. If someone has really committed parajika, how much he practiced, how hard he practiced, how long he practiced, impossible for him to attain jhana, absorption, concentration, to realize the Dhamma as they really are. They need to destroy and they need to change it into samanera, novice, or as a lay person. Only at that time, if they have passed Bharami, they could realize the Dhamma after attaining absorption, jhana, concentration.
Okay, next question. This is quite lengthy. This actually is asking Ante for comment in relation to another type of meditation practice. Okay? Ante, at the time of the Buddha, some people attain arahantship by just listening to a Dharma talk. Ante explained this is very unlikely to happen nowadays, which is why we need more detailed instructions practicing step by step. However, great masters of recent times who were widely considered and respected as arahants, such as Vibhu Sayadaw or Mongkok Sayadaw in Myanmar, or Acharya Man or Ajahn Mahabowa in Thailand, did not necessarily base their meditation practice on the Visuddhimagga, but rather follow the instructions in the wider teachings of the Lord Buddha and the suttas, such as the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, for example. Vibhu Sayadaw, for example, only practiced anapana for samatha and vipassana. This suggests that it is also possible to attain path and fruition knowledge and the final goal without following the Visuddhimagga. Could Bhante please comment on this?
It depends on our past accumulated parami. It is said, it is explained in the commentary, if someone has realized the Dhamma very deeply and they have contemplated impermanent suffering non-self repeatedly many times in their past life, up to the knowledge of discerning equanimity towards the formation. Without having discerned ultimate mentality, materiality in this very life, they may be able to realize Nibbana. We don't know who. The best way is to practice step by step. This is the surest way to realize Nibbana in this very life, according to my experience. For those Sayadaw, whether they have really attained arahantship or not, it is what we can't make a decision. We can't say anything. Who knows arahant? Only when we attain arahantship at that time we can know that we is an arahant.
Next question, okay. Can Bhante please explain how suffering arises out of desire not to suffer?
Today I explained in my Myanmar audience.
Yes, someone heard and then they want to ask Bhante.
Yes, yesterday Sister Kema, she wrote this question to the Sayadaw. Is there anybody who understands this? Okay? Do you agree with this? Suffering arises out of desire not to suffer. Desire, now we are not talking about the wish, desire. Someone bitten by mosquito. Feel pain. Okay? So pain. Out of desire not to suffer, they kill. They suffer because of that desire. Okay? And they see very, very beautiful things and very, very expensive and attractive things they want to steal. They have much desire to take it because of that desire. If they don't do it, they suffer a lot. Oh, I want this, I want this. Because of that desire, they steal. Because of that desire, they do stealing. That's why suffering arises out of desire not to suffer. Because of that stealing action, they go to suffer in the future. So, passion arose in the mind. They find a target to shoot. When they see, they shoot it. Because of this, because of desire not to suffer. Because at that time, if they don't shoot at the target, to the target, they suffer a lot. So out of desire not to suffer, they commit sexual misconduct. Because of this reason, they suffer. Suffering arises out of desire not to suffer. Understand? Do you agree with it? Okay. Sally Karuna, I want to ask a question.
Refer to the question about suffering arises out of the desire not to suffer. So, according to what I understand from yesterday's Saydaw's explanation, so is it that actually we should separate into two types of person? For those who have untrained mind and trained mind. For those who have untrained mind, they have the desire not to suffer, and also they have lobha. Then they have they have suffering. And then, like for the bodhisattva, he also has the desire not to suffer from aging and old age, or death, sorrow, lamentation, all this. So then he seeks for the truth, and then to be free from suffering. So the study, we should see this sentence from these two points of view.
This sentence just for those who are living layman life, making their living, doing this and that. Mostly they solve their way of life. Okay? In a quick way, without considering much. Just to reach to their goal without thinking about the path or the way they are treating. So the one who has written is not me, one of the Westerner who studied the teachings of the Buddha and who wrote down this, and I like that sentence. Sometimes I use. He meant just for those, not for those who want to make an end of suffering. Those who want to make an end of suffering, this sentence cannot be used. Just for those who are making their living, mostly without practicing morality. Now in the world, success is important. Fame is important. Wealth is important. For that reason, without considering much about the path on which they are treating, they just think about how to reach to their goal. Because of this reason, they have committed a lot of unwholesome action. That's why suffering will arise. Suffering arises out of desire not to suffer. Okay?
Next question. Auntie, when the object of Kanti appear, how to
Object of?
Kanti. How to control one's mind? Could Auntie please tell us your controlling method without depending on Sutta?
Kanti is patience. Object of patience. Who can practice patience? Who can't practice patience? Who is able to practice? Who is unable to practice? First, we must know really, deeply, the benefit of practicing patience. That understanding is a leading one. Without that understanding, we are unable to practice patience. If your understanding is not really deep enough and good enough and strong enough, you may choose the way not to practice patience. Because of practicing patience, it makes our wisdom grow time and time, day by day, year by year. That's why practicing patience make the growing of wisdom, and the growing of wisdom support to practice patience too. If you don't practice patience, your wisdom cannot be grown up. Because of practicing patience, you need to wait the right time to see, the right time to act, the right person to see, the right person to act. Sometimes we want to say something, we must think, is it beneficial or not? We must think again and again, taking the time, waiting the right time. Only when we know that, we should wait time, the right time to see, to explain, or to give a hand. Only at that time, what we have done as a giving hand become really something that make him benefit or make her benefit from it. Because of this reason, the wisdom grows in us. The way I have done is really beneficial. What I have practiced, patience, is really beneficial. It benefits to oneself and others. There is no harm between oneself and others. There is no danger, there is no guilty, there is no feeling of guilt. Happiness and benefits are seen at that time. Because of repeatedly doing this way, we don't want to do something in a hurry. Even though someone come and complain, even though someone come and talk about others' bad things, we don't want to take any actions very quickly. Why? There is no benefit in doing something in a hurry in most of the things. As we are not perfect one, we don't know exactly who is right and wrong, what is right and wrong, what is suitable, unsuitable. Even though we heard something bad about others, even though we heard something good about others, we should not accept, or we should not reject, or we should not take any actions. We should take time, as the Buddha said, to know who he is, to know who she is. We need to be with that person for a long time. Only even though we are with them for a long time, if we are not wise enough, we don't know who he is, or we don't know who she is. So it depends on our understanding and wisdom. Because of this reason, we need to take time to know a certain person, even though a certain person is very good towards us. Very good towards us. There may be a change at the time. Whether he is persistent, whether he is stable, you need to wait and see. Even though someone make a change completely or differently, that time we don't need to blame. This is just because of the driving force, which is a defilement. But it may not go wrong all the time. When he realizes that what he had done or she has done is not correct, not right, at that time he may improve. At that time, we may observe, we need to observe, to accept his or her improvement. In this way, we need to practice patience. Patience means not just to bear. Patience means to accept and to see all the changing and improvement of others too. So this is what we all need to practice, both with wisdom and patience. Without understanding, without right understanding, we can't practice patience. Without patience, we can't make our wisdom grow. That's why practicing patience, taking the time, taking the right time, right person, choosing the right person to say, to do, is very important.
When we are trying to practice meditation and be successful, then we need sense of urgency. But what is the relation between this and patience when you are practicing meditation?
When we are practicing meditation, we are really practicing patience too. Without having patience, we can't practice meditation. So as the Buddha said, the way to Nibbana is the practice of patience. Okay? So we need to patience what we want to do. I should better say, we need to be patient not to listen the instructions of the divine at the time we practice. If we listen, we don't want to continue practicing meditation. Right? That's why we need to practice patience at all times to lead our life or to make an end of suffering. Very important.
The sense of urgency.
Sense of urgency was what I can't explain into words, so difficult. When I was in Thailand they know Pali very well. They know sense of urgency in Pali, but they don't understand really what it is. But they have never this feeling in their mind that they ask me, oh, even for 15 days, it doesn't change. So surprising, they told me.
Do you suggest to have a suspicious mind?
Suspicious mind. We should have doubt on what we should, Buddha said. Okay? But as for me, the way I practice in my life, I believe in everybody. I develop this state of mind towards all of the people I met in my life. Why? I want to encourage them. I want to be their good friends. If I have faith on them, they have energy to do in good things. If I have no faith, if I don't believe in someone, practically, if someone don't believe you, what happens? You don't want to speak with that person. You don't want to associate with that person. You want to be away from that person. You don't think that he cannot be my good friend. You believe that he cannot be the one who can do for the good of myself. That's why in my life, even though someone is bad, I develop confidence, I develop faith, or I believe in him, in the good things that he is going to do. We can't make people improve just by blaming, complaining all the time. We need to know the right time to complain, not all the time. Even towards the same person, if we don't want to praise, but if we understand that it is not the right time to praise, better not to praise. But most of the time, if he says that what he has done or she has done is good, they're very happy. They want to continue doing something good because they want to hear that words again. Okay, that's why in my life I try to develop this state of mind towards all the persons I meet in my life.
Okay, next question. I sometimes forgot the bad karma of Vipaka of past life will come soon. Of course, I don't know what it is exactly. Besides mindfulness, what can I do to overcome it with ease at that time?
In Myanmar, there is a usage. ဖြစ်သည်များအကြောင်းကောင်းကြီးပဲ Whatever happens, it is good. Okay? I have this opinion in my life. Since I was young, I hold this opinion. Whatever happened to me, it is good. Have you this opinion in you?
Not all the time in the voice.
Yes. Who can hold this? Who can keep with them? It is not easy for everybody all the time. But according to the teachings of the Buddha, we were born as a human because of the good karma that appeared at the near-death moment in our past. After rebirth, two arrows follow. One is good, one is bad. If you are doing good at the present, between the two arrows, good arrows get the opportunity to shoot us. If you are doing bad, among two or between two, the bad one, you favor the bad arrows to shoot you. For that reason, if you are maintaining your goodness in your life, whatever happens to you is everything is good. Why? Even though bad karma ripens, as you are maintaining your goodness at the present, the power of the ripening of the bad karma will not be strong. Okay? So it is good for you. That's why those who are practicing, those who are maintaining their goodness a whole life, they don't need to worry whatever happened to them. Everything will be good. That's why whatever happened to me is good. Okay?
Okay, Adi. In section is about Adi's new chanting. And Adi please explain the meaning of the new chanting, the second part of chanting that Adi has chanted in the Buddhist talk.
What is that chanting? Can you recite again? Maybe this one, I think. Yo tila vanti tu dati danan Tamina lada tu padana seto Bidada kama pala ulara tam vedana vipula palanti pyumi Yo tila vanti tu dati danan Dhamena ladantu padana seto Bidada kama pala ulara tam vedana vipula palanti pyumi Yo tila tila shire lu pire pokodi Dhamena ladan teyado dila pyesha pweda pyeyashi ato lupwe watu pyesi zugo Dupadana seto Lojilendo seta shidi pye Ulara pyapyo chiche myemya lazado Kama pala kakai chudiago Abidada hanto Londawe yojidi pye Tila wonde tu tila shide lugan pokoro nai Dana ludana godana tipe lui Dandana toludana myogo Vipula palanti jije pomyo myamyato joshi guyue Bhagava bondo jiro mudo myaswa payadi Vosa gruna shita myetapye Hojaro mukhe bhavedati Is it this stanza? Yes? Yo dilava chintila shire lupire kokodi The one who is a donor, who is virtual one. Dhamena lada teyado nila pyesha pweda pyeyashi ato lupe watu pyesi zugo The one who obtains things that is going to offer righteous in the right way. Tupatana seto Lonjileno seta shiri pye With a very pure mind, with very pure heart. Ulara pyapyo jije myemya lazwado Which is very great. Kama pala Kankai Chodayago, who has faith in the law of karma. Kama Bama Kankai Chodayago, Bidada Hanto, Lontawe Yonjidi Pyayue, the one who has faith on the karma and its result. Tila wonde du, tila shire dugan poguruna. Dana ludana godana dipe dui. The one who is virtual one, make an offering to the virtuous receiver. With faith on the law of karma, strongly believe in the law of karma, he make an offering towards the virtuous one. The one who make a donation, make an offering, himself or herself is a virtuous one too. Buddha said, Dandana toludana myogo Vipula palandi jije pumbyo nyamyato joshi huye Bhagava mundo jiro mudo myaswa pyadi Vosa gruna shita metta pye Hojaro mukhe bhavedati. No sadhu this time. Buddha said, such type of offering will give very, very great and powerful results. Okay? Understand? Yo tila va tila gundi dupadati dana Dhamena lada dupadana seto Vidada gama phala ularantam vedana vipula phalati pyumi Yo tila va chin tila shire lu pere pukkodi Dhamena lada tayado nila pyesha pweda pyayashi atto luwe vutu pyasi sugo Dupadana seto Alone jile se tha shidi phit Ulara pyan pyo jije myet la swa do Kamma phala kankan yi chu taya ko Abhidata hanto Alone tawe yong ji di phit yue Tila wonde tu tila shi de lukan pukkul do nai Dana ludana ko dadati pe lui Dandana toludana myogo We sense Vipula paladi jije pumbyo nyamyato joshi huye Bhagava mundo jiro mudo myaswa pyadi Vosa gruna shita metta pye Hojaro mukhe bhavedati. No, from the text, by the Buddha, not by the Venerable Revata.
It is in Pali.
In Pali.
You translate it into Burmese only.
Yes.
But about the way of chanting, is it just Buddha in the past or people in the past they also chant in this way, or this is just the traditional Buddhist chanting way?
This is my way. Not like singing. If I sing not, it will not be like this. Yes. I can sing very well, you know? But it is not like singing. We can't sing like a song. It is completely different. But now I don't know how to sing.
Next question is asking Bhante for advice on managing requisites.
Managing with
Requisites.
requisites.
Yes. Dear Venerable Bhante, when an ordained person needs requisite, whom can he or she ask from without invitation?
From relatives, from parents, from sister and brothers, to 7 steps. Yeah.
Next question is, if he or she gave a sum of money to a friend, in order for that friend to offer him or her the requisite in future, if that friend is a non-Buddhist and doesn't know the proper way to make an offering, can this ordained person ask that friend for a visit without invitation?
Cannot. So I will explain a little bit more. Otherwise, they may not understand. Suppose a certain person would like to offer for requisites to a certain ordained person. So he lived far away from the place where the ordained person who he respects stayed. So he could not know that, or he cannot know that, in which condition, at what time, that ordained person he respects need a certain requisite. For that reason, he want to make offering in times of need. So, as he lived in a far distance, in a far place, he offered, or he passed allowable requisites equivalent to a certain amount to his friend or to one kapiya who live or who stay near to the monastery, or to a kapiya who stay in that same monastery. Maybe the time he passed allowable requisites equivalent to a certain amount to a kapiya or to a certain person. He may get to the place where the bhikkhu is residing. At that time, if he approached to a bhikkhu, he intends to offer, he should inform the bhikkhu, Venerable, I passed allowable requisites equivalent to this and this, to this kapiya. Whenever you need, please ask allowable requisites, which is equivalent to this and this, from the kapiya. Or if he didn't invite to a bhikkhu directly, after the kapiya received the allowable requisites, kapiya or the donors must approach to the bhikkhu. Must be a certain one has approached and invited the bhikkhu or ordained person only. At that time, bhikkhu can ask when he needs or when she needs. If they invite in this way, if a certain lay devotee say or says like this, please know me as your supporters. Okay? Please know me as your supporters. He didn't say anymore at that time. What should the bhikkhu say? Yes, I will keep in my mind you as my supporter. Cannot ask anything. He just simply that, please know me as your supporter. He didn't say, please ask me whenever you need. Okay? Without telling this, if you are going to ask, you indulge your mind. Okay? You indulge your defilements. You promote your defilements to be strong. That's why if they didn't invite you to ask something when you need, they just say, please do know me as your supporter. Yes, I will do know you as my supporters. Okay?
Sayadaw, I would like to ask this. In my past experience, there is one actually a samanera who like to offer requisites. Then this person asked me, what is my account number? What is my account number? And he wants to offer requisites to me. At that time, actually, I was still very heavy to tell the person my account number, because I felt that if I tell the account number, it means that I accept the requisites, like directly for myself. So one time, then at the end I told, because that person showed a very unpleasant say that in my past I don't deal with this condition directly. I will just let the donors deal with the takiya directly and I don't get involved. But in my position, my question is that, is it appropriate for CRA to actually answer the donors who wants to do Dharma and by asking the account number from us? Can we actually tell them?
For bhikkhu, I will just give an example of about the bhikkhu. If someone come and offer money, at the time, we should see, we must see verbally or we must show boldly. Mostly we say verbally, I don't accept money, only this. Okay? But what would the donors feel? We don't need to think much about it. So those who respect the sasana, the teachings of the Buddha, mostly they know the bhikkhus are not allowed to use money, to accept money. If they really support to the ordained persons, they will find a way, proper way to support. No need to worry. Oh, he can't offer too much. Better I should accept. No, just say, I don't accept money. Only this. If you really want, he will find a way to offer in a proper way. Only when he offer in a proper way at the time, we will accept. Okay? This is the way we should practice. It is for the happiness at the present and in the future, and for the realization of the Dharma and for the purity of our morality, which can support the realization of the Dharma and Nibbana.
I've seen in Burma, I've seen in Myanmar, many monks receiving monks.
Yes.
I've seen
Yes.
in many monasteries,
Yes.
and I'm really confused about this.
Yes. Yeah, there are many, those who accept.
So it's not correct, actually.
Yes, this is not the way the Buddha teaches us to do. It is breaking. It is bad son of the Buddha. Okay?
What's about the requisite, not even requisite from family? So,
Practice from the family.
yeah.
Anyway, we should not accept money directly from whoever.
But it's from his faith and everything to support my...
Let them arrange properly. Among those bhikkhu who practice morality in the past, unknowingly or knowingly, they have done bhikkhu's identity cards using their own money when they know it is offense. Before, not because they don't know, just because the place they live, the place they stay, the place they ordain, they didn't follow practice. Because of this reason, it became a normal there. When they come and practice at a certain place where bhikkhus are practicing morality according to the teachings of the Buddha, that time they start feel doubt when they could not practice meditation. Maybe because of this I have done wrong, that's why I could not practice meditation well. That doubt tortured them a lot. Because of this reason, that time they want to change the identity card in a proper way. Okay?
By the way, I have a question about this. In my country, there are some people there and money, but they said they don't have attachment to money at all. They use it as a means to maintain the single life of people. What about this case?
I think you understand. Without having attached, it is impossible. Okay? So, anyway, I want you ought to understand the purpose of Buddha's teaching. Now bhikkhus, they use money as a means to do something. Buddha didn't want us to do this and that. Buddha wants us to go here and there. If there is no requisites, if there is no proper providing, very good. We don't need to go anywhere. We don't need to do anything. How good it is. The purpose of Buddha's teaching is to reside somewhere and to practice meditation diligently. Now, bhikkhus, they find money to do this and that, to go here and there. This is not the way the Buddha wants us to do. This is the purpose. That's why we cannot say there is no attachment, just a means to solve the problem. Buddha didn't want us to solve by this way. Okay?
More question related to the offering to monks. Sometimes in Thailand or in Burma, before when I was a lay person, I always try to offer food mainly, and I try to refuse to give money. Was it correct attitude from mine? Because I was a little bit doubting, should I give money or not?
Yeah, you are right.
But I didn't know about this power.
Yes.
And I was a little bit worried, is it correct to give money or not? That was...
You should practice layperson's duty. You should maintain your duty, they should maintain their duty. Okay? Only then we can maintain the teachings of the Buddha, it will last long. Okay? If they don't like it, doesn't matter. If you know how the Buddha wants us to practice at that time, you will choose to whom to approach. Okay?
Actually, I'm asking Ruxi, and just in case if that friend is not Buddhist, and they say we cannot ask Ruxi without invitation. But how to do? I mean, if family is unable to support, or that you must get Ruxi from that friend, what can you do? I mean, can send somebody to teach her, or can we teach her because if he did not ask, because non-Buddhists have no sense.
Even though some are non-Buddhist, sometimes they have respect to those who are practicing what they can't. Because of this reason, if we meet with such persons, they have the good intention to do for the good of us at the time. We need to explain them the essence of practicing morality. As I have explained all of you, some people, they give an excuse of receiving money and using money as a means in their life. But from the Dharma point of view, it's very clear. If they are seeking an opportunity to do this and that, to go here and there, they need money. If we decide, if the requisites doesn't come into being according to the rules in a proper way, I will not do anything. If you are determined, for sure, there will be many supporters who want to support such bhikkhu. Buddha said, don't worry, just practice morality. There appear many those who want to support you. You don't need to worry. Only just practice, Buddha said. Buddha guaranteed you. Do you believe the Buddha?
Okay. If an Arya is meditating in the meditation hall, and he or she is dwelling in Kala Samadhi or Nirodha Samadhi, Putu Jana meditator opens his or her nostril heedlessly and disturbs the by accident, would he or she get remarried?
What is the intention? We must analyze the intention. If there is no bad intention, just the meditation time is over. Usually, when the time is over, at that time, everybody, they close their mosquito nets. So because of this reason, sometimes maybe with the respect to a certain bhikkhu, a junior bhikkhu want to help closing the mosquito net. At that time, if their intention is good, it is okay. If their intention is no, please now come up, emerge from your meditation, it will not be good.
But this is about reporting interview. Okay? During interview session, students reported their period of concentration or period that they have less wandering thoughts based on their perception or understanding. This may be accurate or inaccurate as the person didn't see the time and is based on an estimation only. Will this be considered an action of Osawada? Is the person breaking the precept?
If there is no bad intention, if there is good intention and estimation, it is okay. Takai, it is okay.
Okay, takai. No problem. Okay. Next question. In this person's past experience, this person reported a practice according to her perceptions. However, she realized that the teacher has responded that she may not be telling the truth. And this person had fear at times to report the practice. How can I improve to avoid this fear? And how should I present my report to the teacher such that he will not think I'm giving a false report?
According to my teaching experience, I say honestly, I never met a meditator who tell lies. Why? I have faith, I believe in everybody. Because of this, everybody, they want to tell the truth. They want to report what they experience. They want to express all their dukkha. They want to explain all their problems. I don't make them afraid me. I make them understand who I am. So I have one of my disciples now who is teaching at Pa'au. He always listen sitting nearby. It took 2 years' time he listened. The way I taught to all my disciples. But he told me, all the disciples are very fortunate. You never scold them. You never scold them. You never condemn them. You always explain them very softly, patiently. When we learn, we are scolded. We are condemned. So now they are very happy with you. What happened? Now he became a good teacher. He became a good teacher. Why? The day he is going to teach, he approached me and he asked me, please admonish me to benefit myself and all my disciples. I told only one thing. In my life, I thought in this way. With whom I meet, how should I help him? Only in this way I think in my mind. I will not disturb anybody. I will help according to what they want. That's why when you are going to teach, please always keep in mind how to help your disciples and not to disturb them. Because of this reason, now he was respected by many disciples and who have a lot of disciples who are successful in meditation too. I'm not boasting, no? I'm telling just the truth, only because I know myself. Okay?
Question. What is Pante's opinion about hypnotherapy and past life regression?
It is not related to meditation. Because of this reason, right understanding cannot be developed by doing so. It is depending on someone. It is not depending on one's own inside knowledges. That's why it is good to know, but how sure it is, how certain it is not sure. Also, because of knowing by doing this way or that way, we can't develop right understanding. There will be still confusion about it. That's why through practicing, through realizing, with insight, one's own inside knowledge is completely different.
Okay, next question is on the Buddha image. Why does the Buddha image a statue crafted with hair and the top of the head as a bun?
Or not, actually, it is just a symbol, not the hair. So, for the Buddha, after renouncing, after became a Buddha, after cutting, not cut like, not shaped like us, there is maybe a certain measure of hair remains, but it never grow longer again. No need to shape again. But this is not happy hair. Whenever Buddha smiled, at that time, the ray, there is 6 types of ray appear. Because it is just a symbol, not the hair. Okay? It represents that the ray of light.
So why Buddha didn't shave hair like us? Is it because he was Buddha, so he must be special and different than from the others?
When you meet the Buddha, please ask this. And if it is possible for you to let me know, please let me know. Print. It is all the time 2-finger print.
Okay, I shall read the next question. This is asking, what is the reason for the bhikkhu to hand over their alms bowl to the kappiya during Vinamata?
Bhikkhus are not allowed to keep the food afternoon time. Only before noon we need to finish. If there are foods left behind, we need to relinquish to the kappiya. We must relinquish without expecting from the kappiya that he is going to offer me tomorrow. Okay? With this intention, it is offense. Must relinquish without expecting. Complete relinquishment must be done. But when we wash the bowl, sometimes we may not be able to watch very clearly. There may be something left behind in the bowl. Suppose there may be oil. What about the bhikkhu bowl? So at the edge of the bowl, there is what? And it is carved. Okay? So the oil can go in. How much we wash, we can't make clean. So it is like keeping the food overnight. For that reason, tomorrow, Kapiya must offer again. Okay? Otherwise, it will be offense. We eat overnight food. For that reason. But another thing, there may be dust in the bowl, which is a measure, which should be or which must be offered. Okay? For example, when the bullock carts run at that time, a lot of dust, okay, are flying. So that amount is the amount or the measure that should be offered to the bhikkhu. For that reason, if in the bowl, even we have washed and we clean with the handkerchief, there may be dust in the handkerchief and there may be dust in the bowl. For that reason, so if we have doubt, this is offense. As I to remove this doubt, we let the lay devotee offer. This is a good habit. According to Vidya. In times of the Buddha, bhikkhus use the clay bowl. Because of this reason, they need to clean the bowl before they go for alms. If it is dry, the food attached to the clay bowl. Only if it is wet, it is good. This is also because of this too. Another thing, the purpose of cleaning with water is to clean the dust. If you want to clean, we must wash our hand very well first. And then we need to use the water which is very clean. Not only one time, 2-3 times. But we can't do. Okay? Because they are kapiya, who is going to offer. Also we have no by condition to do. Okay? Because of this reason, we wash one time. We go for alms. Kapiya, please offer.
So if let's say we have doubt on what we have received, the offerings by others, like maybe we felt that it's not so pure, what should we do?
You have doubt on someone's offering to you. Please practice morality, your best. Only then it will be able to overcome this. Otherwise, you will accuse you yourself. There will be accusation towards you by yourself. And you may feel regret. Self-judgment, yes.
Because in the past we don't know the right thing to do, we have no knowledge about that. So now maybe there's some doubt arose. So how can I relinquish this?
The way you can relinquish, do relinquish. And the way you can improve, please improve. The way you don't need to think, please don't think anymore. Yes, we need to practice this. Let you be a newly born person every day. This is important. Okay? Otherwise, you will be a slave of the past action. Okay?
One of the Q&A session, Bhante explained that attaining jhanas varies from student to student. Some take long, some take short time, depending on different factors. Could one thing possibly say, having taught so many students over the years, which has been the longest and also the shortest time it took a student to attain jhana?
Some take only 1 week, some 1 month, some 2 months, some half years, some 1 year, some 4 years, some 5 years, some 8 years. I respect them. I respect their perseverance, yes, persistence, effort, persistence, training. That's why, please continue until you attain jhana concentration. But if you meet with a teacher who blame and scold you, you will run away. I never scold such meditators in my life. Because of this reason, they are happy to continue under my guidance. And then when 5 years, they could attain jhana concentration, they are very happy. Okay?
So thank you, Bhante, for your mentor and presenting the 7 Q&A sessions to us. We wish Bhante to be well and happy always. May Bhante be able to continue to propagate the Dhamma so that we, as well as others, can benefit from hearing and learning the precious Dhamma from Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
We will share Mary's stand today. Idam me punyam asavakayam vaham hotu idam me punyam nibbanasa pacayo hotu mama punya bhagam sabba sattanam Vajemi Te Sabbe